Coming to you live from the SKL studios in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, I am Kevin Big Booty Bodie, and with me tonight, sliding into your DMs for the DuoCast, it's Carter Silky Mittens Asselford.
Hello everyone, how's it going?
It's going well, thanks. So, tonight for our first game, we've got Vicious and Delicious on the blue side, facing off against Just Us Guys on the red side.
Yeah, should prove to be a pretty interesting match today. When you look at the standings, I guess this is kind of a top team versus a middle kind of lower pack team. But honestly, Just Us Guys can play really well, so I'm expecting them to put up a good fight against one of the top teams in SKL, Vicious and Delicious.
Yeah, they should put up a good fight, but honestly, if you've been checking out the action for the past couple of weeks, Vicious and Delicious have been absolutely rolling. They got off to kind of a slow start in the first week or two, but ever since then, they've got this finalized roster they brought in formally. They've just been rolling over everyone since then. So
absolutely,
it's going to be a challenge here for Just Us Guys.
Absolutely, and a slow start for Vicious and Delicious included going 1-1 with some of the other top teams. So that's a pretty good slow start. But I know what you mean. Definitely a slower start than what they're doing now. Definitely playing at their peak form. We've already got the 3 bans for Vicious and Delicious. The first ban, Renekton, and Varus and Lee Sin coming out. Kind of interesting, but looking at some of the match history from Just Us Guys, you can definitely see where those are coming from. Renekton, Athena's most played champion by far in the top lane. Varus, a little bit of an out there ban. Dr. McFly, I'm not sure playing it that much, but Lee Sin, still one of Odin's top junglers as well. So definitely targeted bans instead of kind of going for the OPs. But all being said, the board is left open.
Speaking of OPs, Just Us Guys on red side choosing to leave the Mord open. Questionable decision on their part, as Vicious and Delicious is one of the teams in SKL that is becoming well known for their Mord comps and how well they play them, because I remember watching them play Indecision with it and just absolutely dumpstering them. So interesting decision. Maybe Just Us Guys were planning for it and are planning for an anti-Mord comp, but what do you think?
Absolutely. It's kind of interesting because Just Us Guys is one of those teams that usually tends to go for those pocket kind of comfort picks. Instead of going for an overall comp that works well together. They go for some good laning phase champions, but just overall comfort picks.
Yeah, like the Renekton.
But I really like this first rotation, honestly. If they're going to pick a Mord on the side of Vicious and Delicious, that means they're going to want to hard engage. And they go for Tafreaker's Zac. Ooh. They left it open. I didn't even notice that they left that open. Yeah, never leave that open.
Forgot about the game that Tafreaker's had on the Zac last week. That was disgusting.
I don't know how we forgot, but honestly, Zac is disgusting, especially in Tafreaker's hands. But I was just about to say that I really like the first rotation from Just Us Guys, because this kind of shows that they're thinking about things. They're trying to get a comp that works well against the Mordekaiser. And unfortunately, the first 3 picks are looking really, really strong for Vicious and Delicious. That's the AP Kog'Maw in the mid. They ran that one time before when they ran Mordekaiser in the bot lane. They ran the scaling AP Cog with the range. Just disgusting. Offers wave clear as well, something that Mord doesn't really offer. So this is looking pretty disgusting for Vicious and Delicious so far.
Yeah, I believe it was in the first game we saw Vicious and Delicious pull out the Mord against Indecision, where they played the Kog'Maw and the Mordekaiser, and it was against Indecision, one of the top teams in the league, and they absolutely rolled over them. So
definitely a strong showing in that game. Breaking news here behind the SKL caster desk. We have a member joining us for the Pig Band. Ponox, welcome.
Hi friends, how's it going? We see the Jarvan picked up here. I mean, that's a very comfortable champion for Odin there in the jungle. Pretty safe. And they pick up the Tristana as well to have some siege, and as well as some self-peel for to kind of get that Mordekaiser away from the Tristana, because once you close that gap, especially with the Zac, you want to make sure you're able to get yourself out of there. So very safe pick in the bot lane for Just Us Guys here.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be interested to see if this Vel'Koz goes through. I'm expecting a Blitzcrank pick here, and that's what it is. Mo Money does love to play Vel'Koz, but not really the kind of support that you need with a Mordekaiser. You need something to enable him, and the pulls that Mo Money brings on Blitzcrank is going to do just that.
Exactly. Blitzcrank, any kind of CC train type support works extremely well with the Mordekaiser. We do see the Vigar locked in there, though, for Just Us Guys. In my opinion, it's a very strong champion right now. It has a lot of good matchups, as well as it has that infinite scaling, so it allows it to get into a very, very scary position.
Yeah, so we saw the if you were checking out our show match last night, you saw the Vigar. If you watched Worlds in the first round, you saw Incarnation play it. It's just disgusting, the amount of AP on that champion, just the absolute burst damage that it can do. It's unreal.
Because in that lane, like Vigar, his Q doesn't take a lot of mana. He can double stack with it now that it goes through targets. So you can stack up AP in very, very gross amounts there. By 30 minutes, you can easily have over 1,000 AP, as well as those the damage items really excel that into a very crazy amount there. Especially with that big CC train, the Event Horizon there that can land. You can close off choke points completely there and really shut down any kind of engage, which is what they're looking to have here with the Mordekaiser comp. So I think the Vigar is a very good pick into it.
Absolutely. I really want to agree with you there, and I think that's definitely true, except for the Kog'Maw. So the only saving grace for the mid lane, I think it's Athena playing that now in the mid lane, is that's a pretty good matchup, but the thing is that late game, Kog'Maw is going to be just such long range that really Vigar might get poked up before the fights even start, because not very good sustain, not wanting to build tanky. So that's like the only thing that's kind of bad against that pick, but what other choices do they have, really? They want to stop this Mord train. Tefreaker's going to be jumping in, so is Poof the Sheep, and Event Horizon is a huge CC, so they got to pick the lesser all evils, and they're choosing to take the poke on from Bakery Boys Kog'Maw.
And the thing with Event Horizon now, with the changes to it, is that CC can't go through it and continue to stun them. So Zac, he can't leap through it and be stunned. Like, he'll stop right at the wall there. So if Athena gets any kind of sniff of Tefreakers jumping in on him there, he's going to lay that down on himself, block himself off, and he's going to be very safe in that lane. And with the Kog'Maw, he does take a long time to scale up because he's going to have to stack that tier. He's going to have to work towards that Ludens, where I'd say Athena in that mid lane with the Vigar is going to have a lot earlier spike, because once he goes back and finishes that Morello Nomicon, he's probably going to be able to solo him out after that point. Once he lands a good Event Horizon on the very low mobility Kog'Maw, he's going to be able to land the Q, land the W, and then just ultimate walk away, and that's the end of that. And then Vigar is just going to continue to stack and stack and stack and get even more out of control.
Right, that's going to be a little bit harder. Bakery Boy taking the cleanse.
It's a very smart pickup for him.
Absolutely, it's pretty much necessary. Sometimes Kog'Maws will usually go Ghost and Flash, just for that added mobility that Kog'Maw lacks, and inherently cleanse is definitely a needed summoner in this matchup against any sort of CC, and Vigar is definitely one to be scared of, so definitely good pickup. It's just going to make it that much harder for Athena to pick up kills on this Vigar against Bakery Boy.
For sure. The only confusing thing is here was Yorick was left open, as well as Poppy. Two very strong.
Yeah, what the heck are they doing?
These guys are crazy.
The power picks left open and they choose not to take it? What
left
the
up
heck?
Yorick, Mori, and Poppy.
And the Kun. The Kun was there. Timo was left open as well. I'm surprised it wasn't first pick there on blue side, but, whatever.
I mean, Mordekaiser, you gotta...
Mordekaiser, Timo, yeah.
Same thing.
Pretty much.
With that, though, again, we do see... Vicious and Delicious. They also do have very good siege with their comp as well. They have the Kog'Maw that has a long-range poke, and if they do get that dragon, they're going to be able to rotate that to mid lane and get a very, very early tower with the siege that dragon brings. Paired up with the Gnar, the Zac that have some engage potential there, they're going to have a very safe tower-taking ability if they can kind of group up there. By themselves, not so much, but if they group as 5, they're going to be able to rush those down fairly quickly with the dragon.
The name of the game for Just Us Guys will be kiting the comp from Vicious and Delicious. It's going to be pretty difficult to stop Tefreakers on the Zac, because you can come from pretty much out of the fog of war a whole screen away with that slingshot being upgraded first. So that's going to be a little bit scary, but I think they can do it with these picks. The Lulu, the Vigar, the Tristana with the self-peel, and the Alistar on support as well. They definitely have the tools to be able to kite this comp. that Vicious and Delicious has. They just need to execute now. It's all about execution. These guys really good early, but they falter mid to late, and that's really where Vicious and Delicious shine. So they got a tough battle ahead of them.
They have to be very careful, though, that lots of their carries don't get picked off by this Blitzcrank. I feel like if they didn't have that Blitzcrank, then Vicious and Delicious might have lost Champ Select here. But that Blitzcrank, if they get that Vigar, if they get that Tristana and are able to just nuke them immediately, that's going to be the end of any kind of counter fight that Justice guys are going to have. So they're going to have to be very careful. Huntail's going to have to play a pretty amazing disengage there. Lots of kiting, lots of peel, like you were saying, out of them, as well as this Lulu's going to have a big part too with that Glitter Lance. And they are running the double teleport, so we're going to hopefully have them making some global presence plays here, maybe putting that teleport to use, because we have seen some teams take the teleport but not use it optimally. So if they can get this Vigar moving around the map, same with the Lulu, then they might have a pretty big early game here where they can get these carries going pretty quick.
Yeah, it's going to be up to them. It's going to be up to Odin to kind of put aside his power farming ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not pick up the early flask and maybe do a lot of ganking to get his lanes ahead, because that's really what you're going to need, especially getting Athena going wouldn't be a bad thing against Bakery Boy. Delay that scaling that Kog'Maw brings. Ender can't really get him ahead, but this bot lane, Dr. McFly, is one of the big carries for Justice guys. If Odin is sitting bot lots, putting lots of pressure on this Blitzcrank and Mord, who have pretty low mobility, pretty easy to gank, to be honest. A little bit more tanky maybe, but if you can get a good gank off and set them behind, then you're set.
Yeah, so, I mean, in terms of just Champ Select, who would you be giving the edge to here, guys?
To be honest, I'm going to give the edge to Vicious and Delicious. They got a Mord comp. They got a great Mord comp, and Mord is overpowered for a reason. He brings so much, and that I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I know Vicious and Delicious is a little higher in the rankings, but they just got a scary comp, and they've shown that they can execute this comp very well. And that being said, Justice Guys does have the tools, but it's a little bit harder to execute than Vicious and Delicious' comp. So for that reason, I'm going to give the edge to Vicious and Delicious in Game 1 here.
Yeah, that's very good good analysis there, Silky Mittens. I as well would probably give this to Vicious and Delicious just because of their experience with the Mordekaiser. I feel like they really know how to play around it. But anyways, guys, we're going to be hopping onto the Rift here real quick with our game of Vicious and Delicious versus Just Us Guys. So on the blue side, we have Vicious and Delicious. We have Poof the Sheep playing Gnar in the top lane, to Freakers playing that Zac in the jungle. He's got the Chroma skin. Bakery Boy playing that Kog'Maw in the mid lane, and Formerly and Mo Money playing that Mord Blitz bot lane.
Absolutely. On the red side, we have Just Us Guys. It is Ender the 9th in the top lane playing Lulu. Odin in the jungle playing Jarvan the 4th. Athena bringing out the bad Santa Vigar. Dr. McFly and Huntail going to be rounding out that bot lane with Firefighter Tristana and Alistar. And I have a feeling that Dr. McFly is going to be having to put out a lot of fires in this bot lane. Maybe look to a short circuit Mo Money's Blitzcrank, because he's been deadly on that champion and definitely is the main reason that Formerly is able to get rolling on this Mordekaiser pick.
No, yeah. In terms of skins, who do you give the advantage to here?
Ooh, Big Bodie. You go first. I don't know. It's a toss-up.
That's a toss-up. You know, Justice Guys, they've got some good ones over there. Bad Santa Vigar is pretty funny. Some of his spells and stuff. The Event Horizon is Christmas trees, and you throw some Christmas presents at people. That's pretty funny. Firefighter Tristana's classic skin. Unfortunately, Odin not using the Warring Kingdoms Jarvan skin, as that is my favorite. Silk and I have talked about that before. Warring Kingdoms Jarvan looks like Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors.
Awesome game. Awesome game from our childhood.
But coming on the other side, Vicious and Delicious, they've got some good things. The Chroma skin, the pink Zac is hilarious.
Bubblegum Zac.
Yeah, Majin Buu Zac. Yeah,
exactly.
Monarch Butterfly Kog'Maw is good, as well as Blitzcrank's not my favorite. Blitzcrank skin is, definitely not Blitzcrank, and also Hot Rod Blitzcrank, I believe, are also good. But it's really a toss-up.
You know what? I'm just gonna give the skin game advantage to Vicious and Delicious. It's 4 skins. Three in a chroma versus 3 in no skin. I'm just not a fan of the classic no skin look.
Yeah.
Poof the Sheep.
I want to spend money.
You know what? Actually,
I want to blow hundreds of dollars on this free-to-play game.
I'm gonna give the advantage actually to Just Us Guys based on the fact that Poof the Sheep didn't use Gentleman Gnar. That's it. That's the only reason.
Come on, Poof.
Gentleman Nar's not even the best one. I think Dino Nar's better.
Why you gotta go say that?
They both have their pros and cons. Dino Nar is pretty cute.
I used to like you, Ponnox, man. What happened?
You've changed, man. But well, you know what they say: skins get wins. So we'll see if that comes true in this game. As we see, it looks like it's going to be a Gromp start here for Just Us Guys. Ooh. They've won my heart.
So what we do see off the start there's a double jungle going on for both sides. But Odin and Ender decided to start on the blue, so Odin just smites the Gromp to get the passive from it, and then he starts going onto the blue buff. So he still kind of gets the passive from the Gromp, but he's able to just kind of rush that blue down, and they're going to be able to clear that out pretty quick here with that passive going on there. So great start from them so far. I do like that strategy. It's not something that we typically see all too often, but it's definitely a very good one.
Yeah, in the bot lane, most junglers will do it. It also allows your bot lane to clear that Gromp faster and get them that XP advantage and then not miss much CS, if any, at all. But we see a lot of aggression in this bot lane.
Ooh, as Huntail smacks Formally against the wall here. Mo Money getting chunked out there as well by the Tristan Arcus, and Formally now caught in a very bad spot, getting very low here, but the exhaust goes down onto Huntail. I don't think Dr. McFly is going to be able to finish this off.
No, definitely coming out on the bad end of that trade between those two.
Yeah, this lane isn't going to go well until Mo Money's able to land the hooks, just hitting level 2 now. The exhaust came out onto Huntail when he was close to tower. I think Mo Money wanted to pull him right under tower, but not having that available just yet, or not having the correct line of sight to get that hook under tower, so that's what they were going for. But if Mo Money can't land trades, I think this lane is actually going to be pretty tough for them. Huntail and Dr. McFly, a lot of safety and a lot of damage at the same time. It's a bad combination, so if Mo Money can't land hooks, they're going to be in for a tough ride.
Well, the Alistar was a pretty great pick into it, honestly, because if you pull in the Alistar, he's just going to pulverize and then headbutt you back into the Tristana. So you have to be very, very careful. Mo Money's he's going to have more of a threat of a hook than just tossing them out willy-nilly here, because you don't really want to pull in Huntail too often. You want to opt for that Tristana, obviously, so it could result in a good turnaround if they get Huntail pulled in, so they have to be careful.
I will say, though, that Mo Money does know what he's doing on that Blitzcrank. If you saw some of their other Mord games where he did play the Blitzcrank, he was just so effective in lane, landing, grab, and pull, and all of those, just one after the other, and just enabling that Mordekaiser to what it needed to do, and he's really has been the key in their Mordekaiser victories, so I'm confident in his ability to land those hooks.
Yeah, the grabs, the pulls, the snatches.
Oh, we do see Tafreakers hovering in the bot lane here, though.
Maybe
Pings come out, though.
They see him. Still might want to slingshot in, though.
Yeah,
does he want it?
Just going to slink off back into his own jungle. Knows he's been spotted, but still pretty healthy, so he can clear the Krugs if he really chooses to do so. I was just going to make a point, but now I forgot. I forgot what I was going to say. Actually, no, I remember. Tristana is a good pick, actually, into Blitzcrank.
Oh, wow, great thought.
Wow, thanks. Like Ezreal, with his Arcane Shift, if you time your jump the right time, even if the pull, the snatch, if the rocket grab lands onto Tristana, but she times her jump, she'll actually jump away even though it lands. And so the same goes for Ezreal. So it's actually a smart pick. Dr. McFly has to realize, though, if he's going to get grabbed, got to jump right away, and then it cancels the pulling animation.
No, yeah. We also do see in the top lane here that it seems like Poof the Sheep is kind of bullying around this Lulu, which not something that you should see too often. Lulu is a very strong laner. She can definitely push waves fairly favorably, but it seems like this Gnar is just able to have the sustained trades where you definitely don't want that. You don't want Gnar to be able to get those 3 stacks off there. Gnar is a pretty safe laner himself, also being ranged, but Lulu, she should just be able to glitter lance or throw picks on and then back off from the trade at that point, but she's letting Poof the Sheep really stay with her there and get the 3 stacks there, pop that passive, and get quite a bit of damage. As we see coming up here, Poof the Sheep, he's going to throw the boomerang, get that other stack there. So it's just going to keep rinsing and repeating there unless Ender can play this lane a little bit safer, push the advantage that he naturally does have in that lane. But Tafreakers looks like he wants to get Poof the Sheep rolling here right off the bat. Ender, they might go for the dive.
Slingshots in, but the predictive flash there for Ender the 9th gets out of the way. Whew, those some quick fingers.
Yeah, that was some great reaction speed by Ender. Not quite spotted out by the ward was Tafreakers in the tri-bush there. Just coming out of the fog of war, I think. It might have actually spotted him. The vision's kind of wrapping around the wall there, so he might have saw that coming, but nonetheless, better safe than sorry, flash away from that one.
Yeah.
Got to watch out, though, as soon as Poof the Sheep hits level 6, that's going to be a lot of kill pressure, even with the wild growth that Lulu has. That Gnar pumps out a lot of damage, especially if it goes Black Cleaver first.
No, yeah, they might even have to pull in end of the 10th if this doesn't pull go well for them in the top lane. But yeah, nice pull there from Mo Money, getting him under tower.
But Huntail just knocks him up and runs away. But Odin now going in onto Poof the Sheep. Flag and Drag comes out. The stacks are lowing and do pop, and looks like Poof will get away. Did blow his flash there, but able to escape with his life.
A couple good ganks by the junglers there. No vision whatsoever for Poof the Sheep. Thought he was okay just having that hop available, but Odin holding on to the Flag and Drag until he hops and then forced the flash to dodge the Flag and Drag. So that was great gank by Odin. Great patience as well.
Another big pull there for Huntail, but the explosive charge goes down onto Forlane, but first blood is picked up for Blitzcrank. Now Dr. McFly gets the exhaust down, but Athena's coming down for the ball lane and just immediately picks up the kill on Forlane. TP coming in as well for Poof the Sheep. Tafreaker's there as well. Members Arlo flash out from Dr. McFly, but Athena does go down. Rocket jump out from Dr. McFly, and he will escape with his life.
That was a good roam from Athena, but I mean, at that point, you gotta know you're outnumbered once Tafreaker's been MIA for that long, as well as there's that kind of pressure in the bot lane, pushing him in that constantly. He's obviously gonna make his way back down there unless he wanted to go back to top, but I didn't see that being possible with Poof the Sheep being forced out of the lane. So they should have maybe sniffed that one out a little bit better there. Great pull from Mo Money again, pulling Huntail under tower there, getting the Ignite. He did get the kill, unfortunately, but I mean, that is a little bit of gold still going to Mordekaiser with the assist. But yeah, and then also Kog'Maw being able to match that roam from the Veigar. I mean, Veigar did pick up the kill. He's got the stacks going now, but he's working towards the Chalice versus the Morella Nomicon. So a little bit more expensive and a little bit later of a spike for him there, but it should still be good. You want the CDR on him a lot there because it's going to have those Qs coming out every, less than every 4 seconds, which is pretty gross on Veigar, to be honest.
The only downside to Vicious and Delicious comp is that they don't have a lot of physical damage, actually. So just stacking all the MR on pretty much every member is definitely not a bad thing. Going to be looking for an early Aegis of the Legion, probably from Odin here.
Or Huntail.
Or Huntail even, but it's a toss-up. It doesn't matter who. Odin does pick it up most of the time, I would say. So wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to pick it up there. But that last fight, just outnumbered, really. The teleport being used by Poof the Sheep to come down, and of course Odin in the mid lane, and Ender was back at the base. So in total, only 3 members of Just Us Guys were there, and that was started by the hook of Huntail under the tower and killing him right away. So that fight just wasn't going to go well right from the get-go. Only down at 1k gold, though, and there's still some big objectives on the map. So really only losing the couple of kills there for the teleport is not the worst thing in the world.
No, I mean, everyone seems to be able to farm pretty well here, and I mean, they are only up 1 kill. So being down this amount of gold, just the way the lanes are going, but Tafreaker's making his presence in the bot lane again.
Just slingshots in as Forlane Mo Money get knocked up, and they're just going to back out here, and Tafreaker's coming in from the backs of Mo Money informally, not able to complete anything.
Yeah, this is just the safety that the Tristana brings, right? As soon as you're in danger, just hop out or Buster Shot or both, and really Mo Money's going to have a tough time kind of hooking in Dr. McFly. As long as that rocket jump is up, he's going to get away. As soon as the hook is looking like it's going to land, just jump away. And even then, even if he does get hooked, formerly has to have the 3rd Q procced if they really want to blow him up, and then Huntail can disengage as well. So it's actually proven to be tougher than I originally thought in this bot lane for formerly and Mo Money.
Yeah, we do see the Mordekaiser going with a very bursty build right off the hop here, not going for that Trinity Force that some pros seem to be favoring there. He is going towards that Rylai's first item, it seems like. I mean, we've seen it a couple times, especially in the World Championships. You'll be watching some of the Mordekaisers play there, and they do just go for that full AP burst. They don't really go for that AD with a Sterix gauge or anything like that, and if they do, it's a lot later on when they're already super far ahead. So it is a different style build.
Yeah, absolutely every Mordekaiser that's been played in the World Championship has rushed Rylai's, and then usually by that point they're pretty ahead, so they go full YOLO Ludens.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what we've seen. We've only seen it a couple times in the Worlds because it's only made it through a couple times, but I think Rylai's has overtaken Triforce almost as the go-to, especially if you're ahead. It just adds so much, and the slows with the Dragon is disgusting. The Dragon applies that slow, and it's an AoE, and it's disgusting.
I feel like that's one of the factors that has really bursted that into competitive play there, is the fact that the Dragon does apply the slow. as well as it gives you a lot more early game pressure there, because the Triforce, it's a very expensive buy. Takes a little time to work your way up there, but look, we're already 11 minutes in, and he's got the needlessly large rod. So if they do get the right pull and they get the right knock up, they get a silence, they're going to be able to, burst people out. Absolutely. So I do like this kind of deviation from what we've seen from pre-Worlds kind of Mordekaiser play. Ender having a rough time in this top lane now, though. He's down around 20 CS, and he's just getting chunked out under tower from this Nars Boomerang. He is rushing that Black Cleaver, so he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage. And it seems like Ender is going for that Morella Nomicon in the top lane, so he's not going for much defense himself, but Mo Money might get caught out here.
Caught in a bad spot, gets knocked back. Explosive charge goes down, but formally he's coming out to help. Flash does come out from Mo Money. Unbreakable will pop by Huntail. Exhaust goes down onto 4 lane, but Tafreaker's out of nowhere. Coming in onto Dr. McFly, picking up the kill, but Odin comes in now as well. Huntail knocks up Formally and Dr. McFly. TP now coming in from from Athena. Sorry, double TPs. And teams backing off from each other. Will they look to re-engage here as a turret does go down in the top lane? Poof the Sheep just pushing up there, but whew.
I am slightly confused as to why Dr. McFly got just stuck in midair. I think it was the ultimate from Tafreakers.
It was. Because he landed the hop, then Dr. McFly used the rocket jump, and then he used the ults, which caught him mid-rocket jump there and
stuck him in midair.
It interrupted it. And then he just got bursted out from Formally before he was able to really do anything after the fact. He still has his flash up, so obviously was caught a little off guard from that CC train.
Yeah, and honestly, if it wasn't for the passive from, or the ghost from the ultimate, from Mordekaiser's ultimate, that kept Dr. McFly around for Vicious and Delicious, that fight could have been turned around. There was some chunk members out by Vicious and Delicious, but when you have a Tristana ghost that has the BF sword and the pickaxe and doing all that damage and stuff, it's going to be pretty bad and outnumbered, but Odin's getting caught.
Gets caught out there. Tafreaker's hiding in the bush. Throwing some damage down. Void Use coming out from Bakery Boy as well, but just going to hop over the wall and run away. Huntail there now as well, but maybe Vicious and Delicious here gonna look to Dragon. They want that ghost.
They don't have the pressure here. They only have 3 members, just us guys, so Vicious and Delicious should get this for pretty much free. They just don't have enough members around. They didn't catch this quite well, and they did not prep for it, as they did lose that bot lane fight, so that immediately gave all the Dragon pressure over to Vicious and Delicious.
And we're about to see the Dragon with the Rylai's effect added on. That is going to be a free tower in the bot lane. Definitely. Just with the members down here and the Dragon, this thing's going to go down without contest. And if they stick around, they might be paying for it. But Ender's in a little bit of trouble.
Ender pops the Wild Growth, looking to save his life, and actually does get out as the tower in the bot lane will go down here with the help of their pet Dragon. We did see during that last team fight, the tower in the top lane went down when everything in the bot lane was going on. Poof the Sheep. He just stayed up. Slingshot now onto Dr. McFly.
Interrupted the rocket jump again.
Yeah, and now formally picking up the kill. That Dragon with a lot of help to Freakers with a great engage, and Huntail gets pulled back, pops the Unbreakable Will, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's a lot of damage to be done here, but he might be able to get away under tower, and he will be able to escape with the help of Odin.
Wow, Tafreaker's really been showing up in these fights, just interrupting the rocket jump from Dr. McFly is really the only thing getting them kills in these team fights. It's 4-1 now. That's 3 little skirmishes in a row that he's been able to jump in and then wait for that rocket jump to come in and then use the ultimate to interrupt that. It's really beautiful play. You can't give this guy this champion. He's just too good.
No, yeah, absolutely. It is a little bit scary here. Maybe Dr. McFly needs to be a little bit more patient with that rocket jump, wait for some of the CC to come out first, and then try and hop away. I mean, he still does have that flash up, so he's always getting completely trained there, layering it very, very well, so it's not giving him any options, but Athena's getting caught out in the mid lane there, and Formerly's just going to flash ult him and kill him right away. Tafreaker, an absolute monster on this Zac. He is everywhere on the map, and they really have to be feeling his presence.
Yeah, I'm confused by the first ban, Gragas, to be honest. They might just not have thought or forgot about Tafreaker's Zac.
Didn't do their homework.
Didn't do their homework. It seems like they did, though, because maybe they only watched VODs, but they didn't realize that the Zac was banned every game against Tafreakers, because they banned the Gangplank from Poof. What else? The Elise is just a strong jungler in general. Gragas, I'm not too sure about that. You know, I'd rather play against a Gragas than Tafreakers on Zac. So maybe just forgot. They're definitely not going to forget next game, I can tell you that for free.
No, I mean, Zach, he's not as popular as Gragas is right now, but the danger of a really good Zach, with that hop being buffed in the last couple patches here, it's giving him so much more range, which is actually just like unreal. So Ender, he's getting chunked out here again. Poop the Sheep just following it up, forcing the Wild Growth out again, but he's going to keep going on him though, actually he's going to go Meganar here, missing the ultimate.
Out. Oh, and Ender, will they get away? Athena shows up now, pops the Event Horizon, and
got him.
No, hops over the wall, and Athena does finish off the kill onto Poof the Sheep there.
Just going full YOLO mode is Poof the Sheep. If Ender would have landed that last Glitter Lance, I think it would have just got the solo kill under the tower, but missing that, but thankfully, Poof the Sheep is so deep in enemy territory with no one else around. It just goes down in the end. Just a little bit of over-aggression, wasting Flash, but Ender wasting his Flash as well. I really got to say that Ender has been a non-factor in this game. It got 1 assist to his name just from that last little fight there, but hasn't been able to use what Lulu brings to the team. You bring that safety, you bring the kite, but being top and getting just soloed out by Poof the Sheep every single second of every minute is not going to help your team at all.
And that's the problem here, that we see Poof the Sheep continually forcing Ender into his own turret, pushing the wave constantly, not letting Ender kind of leave that tower alone, or else Poof the Sheep's going to take it himself, and they're going to have a split push on their hands. So Ender not able to leave the lane. He's not able to go down and help Dr. McFly, because that's what they need, because we see so much focus from Tafreakers and just the team in general onto Dr. McFly in that bot lane, not letting him get away, but they need something like the Wild Growth. But if that's being forced out every time it's off cooldown here from Poof the Sheep, it's exactly, Ender's going to become a non-factor, and I think that's exactly what they're aiming for with Poof the Sheep playing so aggressively in this top lane, because he is up around 60 CS now, just slowly creeping up here. He's itemized very well for it, went with the Black Cleaver, and then went with the Merc Treads right away to help with the CC as well, as give him a little bit of MR in that lane. But it's pretty unreal, actually, just the amount of, Mo Money.
Mo Money got popped back into the back lines, but Explosive Charge goes off, but it's not going to do enough here, as Teleport comes in for Poof the Sheep in the jungle. Tafreaker's there as well, throwing damage down onto Ender first.
Nice.
They're fighting the bot lane as well, doing damage onto Ender here. Will they be able to finish up Athena? Just not able to do enough as Poof the Sheep picks up the first kill. And now down to the bot lane as Dr. McFly's getting chunked out by Bakery Boy and Mo Money. But Bakery Boy, oh my gosh, picks up the kill there. Tafreaker's going in now on the rest of the team. Is now going to try and back out as Athena still will do quite a bit of damage here, but they're going back in. But Huntail knocks him back. Event Horizon comes up to block him, and that should conclude that team fight.
Ender finally got to group and be there for a team fight, but it was forced to use the Wild Growth immediately on Athena. Tafreakers and Poof the Sheep off to the side were fighting those two, and immediately Ender goes down after using the Wild Growth on his teammate. So, and I don't even think that Athena was in that much danger. He was pretty much full health when the Wild Growth was popped on him. So maybe a little bit of trigger finger there by Ender. Just not used to using that ultimate on anyone else, just use it at the wrong time.
I feel like that's absolutely what it was. He was just getting a little bit itchy there, and ended up popping it a little bit too early. So we do see Athena. He's going to be going towards the Zhonya's. I mean, it's unfortunate that he feels like he has to itemize this way, because a Rabadon's is extremely strong on Veigar, giving him that 20% AP growth there, just with his maximum scaling, gives him an insane amount very early into the game. So giving that Zhonya's is going to delay it a little bit, but it's still a lot of AP on Veigar. But I mean, the armor, there's only the Gnar really for the AD damage.
And really, the stasis isn't going to help you. Once you get engaged on, it doesn't matter. You're still stuck there after the stasis runs out. Would have rather seen maybe a Abyssal Scepter come out. You really want to negate some of the magic damage coming out from these guys, because they're doing a lot. Bakery Boy starting to ramp up now. Just having the tier and the loons alone is popping people left and right. You saw him just two-shot Dr. McFly using that Ooze and the Arcane Barrage there to take him down. It was just sickening damage, and they really need to start stacking this magic resistance. Just now finishing the Aegis of Legion on Odin, but it's a little bit later. Now people are starting to ramp up. There's already a lot of kills on the formerly. Bakery Boy's hitting that power spike. Tafreaker's just doing a lot of damage anyways.
Nobody knows they're even here.
No one knows they're even here. This is true vision. They see Bakery Boy. He's just there as a distraction, and this Baron's going to go down, and they won't even know it until the alarm, it tells them, but it's too little too late.
Yeah, it gets melted very quickly. They're just a free Baron for Vicious and Delicious with the help of their pet dragon. And this is not looking good here for Just Us Guys, as Dr. McFly going back now and just now completing his Infinity Edge whereas formerly has been sitting on that Rylai's Crystal Scepter for quite a while now, and formerly just picking up, Dr. McFly just picking up his first big item.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Go ahead, Silky.
At the same time, really there is a way for Justice guys to come back. If they do want to come back, they're just going to have to kite really well and try their darndest not to get poked by Bakery Boy. That's really the only thing. They have to kite back. They can't get caught. They have to get some vision for themselves and attempt to not get poked down. That's what's so scary about this composition that has kind of become the Mordekaiser trademark composition for Vicious and Delicious is the AP cog. Because the thing about Mordekaiser comps, you want hard engage, but teams tend to pick kite against that. Odin forced a flash there, just solo.
That was a long flash.
That was a pretty long flash over that terrain.
Yeah.
Pretty lucky. We almost saw a flash in the wall there, maybe. But
that would have sucked.
The thing about Mordekaiser comps, you want hard engage, you want ways to get a Mordekaiser closer to the members, but the other teams are going to see that, pick a kite comp. But when you pick this AP Kog'Maw, that just makes it so much harder because you kite back, and you kite back right into all the long-range damage coming out from the AP Kog'Maw. And especially with the slow start like Justice guys had, they're not able to get any resistances. And Proof the Sheep just doing the same old thing.
Growth again. As Tefreakers hops in onto the team behind the turret here, gets caught in the event horizon, but then knocked out, taking shots from the turret as well. And he will go down, but his passive is available. Need to take out the blobs. It looks like they will be able to do it. Odin finishing off the kill onto the Freakers.
Without the Freakers here, I don't know if they should really stick around that long. I mean, Bakery Boy's chunked out a little bit himself. They're going to get this tower, obviously, but after that, I feel like they should just take that win there and just back off, maybe rotate down to bot, get that way pushing even a little bit farther. But yeah, I mean, they don't want to stick around with this Vigar. He's going to be able to just, destroy them. So they do back off. They're pinging out the bot lane there, so it looks like just us guys are going to go try and push these waves back out into their own favor. But we do see that, I mean, they're pretty trapped in their own base here at this point. It is already a little bit in here to like 11k gold down, and we do see the map just lit up with blue wards. I mean, there's like 3-4 red wards, and they're all really defensive, where, I mean, the jungle's just lit up on just this guy's side from Vicious and Delicious. So obviously very offensive warding coming up from them. They just got to move that pink line ward up, and then I feel like they should be fine at that point.
Yeah, this map is lit up so much for the blue side here. Just looking at next game, though, honestly, you got to ban the Zac. It's banned every time against these guys for a reason, and definitely finding out that a little bit too late is just us guys. So, so they're blue side next game.
Yeah.
I don't think Dr. McFly plays Mordekaiser. It's going to be a pretty rough pick and ban for them next time, too, because even if Mordekaiser is open, they don't play it, so they're going to have to ban it, right?
It's 2 bans
and
right
on
there.
blue side, banning Mordekaiser is a little bit rough. So honestly, it's going to not get that much easier for these guys going into next game.
I feel like Vicious and Delicious also understands Mordekaiser enough to play against it as well, not just to play it themselves. So I feel like they would risk leaving it up themselves. They wouldn't ban it on the red side. But, Mo Money landing a great stun.
Odin gets pulled in, getting melted down here. Damage is going down, but the Cataclysm's going down. Zonya's popped there for Formerly, and that's going to be enough to save his life as Huntail is trying to just punch Poof the Sheep up against the wall, but he's going to retreat into base as Meganar is up now. And they will back off for now. Maybe you're going to look for a re-engage somewhere here. Maybe Tefreaker's going to slingshot into the base at some point.
Holy cow.
But Huntail just caught up against the wall there. Too far in.
Just as guys execute it perfectly, but the Kog'Maw is still there pumping damage. So you kite back as much as you can, use all those CC to zone control the event horizon and such, but you're just walking back right into Bakery Boy's long-range poke, and it's such a double-edged sword.
Tefreakers going ham here, but the event horizon knocks everyone back. The exhaust goes down onto Tefreakers, and he might actually get out of this after slingshotting himself into about 4 members of Justice guys. He's still going to get out.
See, the problem with that fight is the event horizon, while it was laid down in a very good spot, not enough people got stunned up by it. It was really only Tefreakers there, and then Athena just went up, and he just pressed R onto Formerly and then back right off of the fight. So it chunked Formerly down to around half health, but it's still not enough to 100-0 people. So he's got to be able to lay down a little bit more sustained damage. So that event horizon, if it would have landed, he might have got the full combo off, could have landed the Q, the W, and then landed the ult, and then that could have done it, because that W does have a 100% ratio itself, so that's an extremely strong spell by itself. He has picked up some more AP here, though. He's gone for the needlessly large rod, still working towards an item here. Whether he decides to finish off that Zonios or if he's just going to go for the Rabadons, we'll have to wait and see. But Freaker's just hopping out there, not in too much danger there. He's pretty tanky himself, but Odin getting caught out.
Odin gets pulled in again, but now Dr. McFly is going to have to go in. Cataclysm goes down, catches 2 members. This might be good here for Justice Guys as the Wild Growth is popped on Odin to save his life as Huntail now looking for an engage. Knocks Formerly back in the line as Dr. McFly gets exhausted. Formerly goes in there and lands the Mace of Spades onto Dr. McFly and pick up the kill with Huntail, the next one to go down. And now Athena will go down with the dub here picked up for Formerly. Whew.
I mean, Huntail, he thought he had a great catch there, pushing Mordekaiser back into Dr. McFly. But then, I mean, it was just like, with arms wide open, like, Formerly just landed the Qs and just flashed in, just destroyed him. And that's going to happen every single time. They can't just throw members onto him. It's pretty scary. It's like just the amount of health that Formerly going to have, just being Mordekaiser, as well as just the amount of damage he can have himself. I mean, he has picked up a Zonius himself, so he's got a little bit of armor. So once Dr. McFly picks up some kind of crit or some kind of shred there, then maybe we'll talk. But as of right now, he's not going to be able to really solo this Mordekaiser out by any means. He's going to have to scale up as he is Tristana, so a little early on he's going to have some trouble, but he's only sitting on that Infinity Edge now. We do see Formerly, he's got 2 items finished, and he's working towards that 3rd one there, going for a little bit of a defensive item, just maybe help protect against the Vygar, but I mean, this Vygar is still not even doing too much work himself.
Yeah, with the Vygar Athena, I believe, what is it? You get bonus AP for each assist you get as well, right?
And every minion killed.
Every minion killed with your Q gives you 1 AP, and then every kill and assist gives you 5 AP.
Right, so when you're Vygar, your team only has 3 kills, you're sitting at 2 kills, 1 assist, you're down in CS. You're not going to scale that Vygar as much as you're not optimizing the scaling that champion offers at this point in the game.
Now, as well as you do want to go with some CDR, yes, so you got the Chalice, but then you really want to get that burst really, really early. So just sitting on the components of items, it's not going to give you the stats that you need, especially when we're already 28 minutes into the game and he doesn't even have 2 items completed. He's going to have a rough time. And, I mean, Vygar's very immobile too, so if he doesn't land that Event Horizon, he's going to get caught out. But Poof the Sheep.
Poof the Sheep. Caught in a bad spot here, but he's really just running interference as the rest of his team is trying to get Baron. But Odin goes into the pit, but is not able to steal the Baron and will just get melted here, and the kill goes over to Mo Money, actually.
Just going in early, trying to guess that the other jungler would use Smite, but just smiting way early. Kind of a desperation attempt at this point, honestly. Even if he gets that, it's only going to delay the inevitable. I don't want to be that pessimistic,
Winions.
But the Winions are going to take down one of the Nexus towers as well. This bot mid is opened right up, and it's only a matter of time before they're able to siege. You need just to get the dragon, then you can take whatever tower you want with the passive from the Mordekaiser ultimate.
No, and I mean, Odin, he obviously went in there. He wanted to do the hero steal, but Tafreaker's called his bluff there. We do see the Event Horizon landing on Formerly, but he was in the middle of it, so not a lot happened. Ender, he's going to get just destroyed here.
Bakery Boy, just a snipe show right now, picking out members as Huntail goes in and knocking up some people, but Formerly picks up the kill, but not before Dr. Fly picks up the kill onto Blitzcrank, and Huntail pops the Unbreakable Will, trying to get back to the fountain, dive him, and Formerly does pick up the dub just before they can, Huntail can get back to the fountain. That's an ace, and that should be the game, question mark?
With this Baron buff, it's absolutely going to be the game. The amount of siege that this Kog'Maw is going to bring as well, paired with the Mordekaiser and this Tristana Ghost, absolutely, this is the game over for these guys.
See ya.
Just a Mord comp.
Just Mord comp. Just kill the 80 carry and win.
Yeah,
absolutely. Dr. McFly not able to do anything this game. Early it looked okay in lane phase, but then once the Freaker started to interfere with things, things got out of control. I really got to sympathize. You think things are going so well, you know, you're down by a little bit, you're playing well against the comp that's ahead in front of you, but then all of a sudden things get out of hand, and before you know it, you're down 10k, and it's really a sickening feeling. So you got to sympathize for these guys for sure. But just a rough game, but I think the pick ban phase is something they really got to improve. They really got to think more about what Vicious and Delicious can do and what they can bring to the table. So a lot of changes ready for them. Big Booty Bodie going into game 2.
Yeah, maybe just getting punished for not doing their homework, not banning the Mord, as we have seen that being one of the most picked champs here for Vicious and Delicious in these last couple of weeks, where they have been just rolling through SKL, as well as the Zac. It was getting banned onto Freakers pretty often in early weeks, and when he did finally get it last week, I believe it was, there we are, I believe it was you, me and you, Silky, as well with Dezaninator that game. And it was just absolutely disgusting, the amount of damage and just the impact that Tefreakers had on the Zac. It was unbelievable. He carried that game.
And he carried this game. I do want to say, honestly, he enabled the rest of his team. Bakery Boy really coming into his own late game. That's what that champion does, though. It scales ridiculously well, even against a Vigar. You can't get close to him as Vigar, even with Cleanse. Bakery Boy is just going to stay away from you and just do all the damage. And you saw him pretty much 1v2, absolutely 100 to 0. That was, I believe,
Dr. McFly.
Dr. McFly and the Lulu as well. Just absolutely blown up at the end of that one. So not much to say about Game 1. Definitely just a Mord comp for Vicious and Delicious. Nothing new there. Going to be looking to adjust us guys to fix things up before Game 2. But we're going to take a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play a couple ads from our sponsors. We'll be right back with Game 2.